I thought I knew a lot about tabletop RPGs before I started becoming an author. Now that I'm actually considering starting to write my own tabletop RPG as part of the Merna Annals in the future, oh boy, math matters way more than I ever thought. See you on the other side. Let's do this. Hello there, everybody. My name is Jenna O'Malley. I am your soul writer, author of sci-fi fantasy with dashes of romance and nerdy references, such as the Merna Annals. Check it out. Updates, new files, and more books coming out by the end of the year to that series, Amazon and wide. So, yeah, I've been in cahoots talking with not just Jeremy of Suntroa Arts, my character designer and sketch artist, to actually do like the art for the manuals and the covers of the Merna Annals tabletop RPG, but also I've been talking with a friend of mine who kind of has homebrewed his own games for a long time, who's been a DM/GM player for many systems. He's even been on this channel twice as part of listening to the voices in our heads. You all kind of know Baka. He is kind of gonna... I've asked him, and he's said, yeah, I'll do it when you're ready. He's much better at math than I am, and because he's DM/GM'd and been on both sides of the table more than I have been, I've been more on the player side, to be fair, and because, well, he's better than math, and he knows all the different types of ways to use the math because of the different platforms. I think this collaboration is going to be so much fun. It's going to be one of the biggest non-author tube collaborations I will have ever done, and we are literally in the baby stages of it. Like, I am thoroughly flushing out my pitches to them of what I would like for them to do, how we're going to pay for it, and all that jazz. So it's baby stages. I'm sure Jeremy's response is, you guys need to write the thing so we know how many images I need to make first. That is appropriate. So that's kind of what I plan to be doing over the next couple of years as part of my writing time. And even just researching as of late over the summer what it takes to create a tabletop RPG has led me down rabbit holes I never thought I would need to go down. I know more about, like, game board design than I ever wanted to, and I had a gamified classroom for most of the years that I taught in a physical building, and mind you, out of the might as well say I've been in education for 15 years, if you include, like, my training and my student teaching. And of those 15 years, I've spent about 6 or 7 of them running a gamified classroom. So about half that time, video games, board games, how can I make this part of my class has been my life. And I'm relearning all of that from a different perspective. Like, I did not realize that board game designers go into so many decisions about, we need to make this game piece this color because... Yeah, apparently they care a lot more about those decisions nowadays, depending on what industry in gaming you're dealing with. And I'm just like, wow, I have a lot more decisions to make than I thought. Like, do we want to do 3D printed miniatures as part of this or not? Like, do we want to just do PDFs? Do we just want to do physical books? These are all decisions that are kind of groundwork decisions because we got to know what to put in our goals to scaffold toward. If you saw my recent video on scaffolding goals, how appropriate. So some of the research I've gone into has led me to actually converse one-on-one with people who use Kickstarter to sell TTRPGs. And some of what they're telling me is bringing up a lot of old skills also that I learned from textbook and curriculum development writing, because I've done that part of my educational consulting career. Some of you are like, why is Jenna doing this all educational like? Because Jenna has 15 years of stuff on a jump drive to share with y'all, and it's writing, so it's not like it changes quick. because writing's one of those things that if it works, use it. So very much so with the actual, what I need to know about writing it, it's pulling out skills from teaching that I never thought I would ever have to use in this business. I never thought I would have to use my textbook writing skills because I ghost wrote and edited textbooks for a long time before I came here to start doing freelance stuff. One of the companies I used to edit for was a textbook company. So I have that experience. I also have the fictional experience, but I've kind of been down that journey, and to see those skills come back up in something that is fictional is so cool. I did not even think for a second that those skills would be required. And looking into all the different dice options even are making some of our ground decisions for what I pitch to Baka and Jeremy all the more important. It's like, do I want to use only D6s? Because some gaming systems do. Do I want it to be D20 based, D10, whatever? So looking into what I thought I knew about doing this thing versus the rabbit holes I've mentioned are just a few of the ways I've spent some of my time this summer. What has felt like doom scrolling through data is really data mining through ideas and going, yes, that's right for me. No, that's not right for me. Yes, that's right for me. No, that's not right for me. So when you go into the things you didn't know about the things you didn't know as an author, sometimes product placement should be much earlier in our creation processes than we think. I was having that discussion with, what do we do if we want dice and miniatures? I talked to a couple of people I know who do 3D printing. Some of them are contacts I made through conventions this summer. And a lot of them said, you better make sure you have your books done and over with before you really long, hard dive into promoting this. Kind of one of those questions of when an author goes from doing just goods to a service. Remember, it's not exactly another business, but it's a whole nother department on its own at least, and you got to be prepared to run that whole other entity. So it kind of was giving me a heads up of you might want to consider partnering with someone who does 3D printing and have them do all of it instead of outsourcing. And I'm going, like, Jenna needs one more nerdy hobby. Let's get real. I would love to be able to 3D print my own stuff and make my own stickers. I make my own candles and wax melts now as it is. Why not add one more hobby? But I can't do it all. And I don't want to. I would rather work with others and collaborate on this project. So sometimes the things I know about TTRPGs as an author have taught me more about running a business than I could have ever hoped to know. I challenge you to look at what you really have learned along this journey and to give yourself gratitude and grace, to celebrate it each step at a time. Until the next one. Oh, if you want to know more about this series, check out my friend Sam Wicker's channel. A couple of us are partaking, and thank you, Sam, for making this a safe challenge for all of us to partake in. Take care of yourselves. You've always been worth it, and so is your voice. Dang it.